Шановні колеги,
Dear colleagues, we continue our working day and we give the floor to Colonel Andrei Lysenko, Ministry of Defense spokesperson on ATO related issues. Good afternoon, dear colleagues, and I provide you information about the developments in the ATO area. For the second day in a row in the ATO area, the situation has been demonstrating the attributes of certain de-escalation as compared to the peak of hostilities in September on 13th and 14th of September. However, the militants continue committing armed provocations in order to force Ukrainian army to return fire and then to blame Ukrainian servicemen in violations of the ceasefire. In Lugansk sector, Ukrainian servicemen repelled the attack of hostile subversive group near Novozvanenka. The action was 7 minutes long. No, our soldier suffered and the enemy retreated. The hostile fire was observed exclusively in this area and near Novoalexandrivka, which is a neighboring village. A total of 4 ceasefire violations were observed there, and only exclusively by small arms in Donetsk sector. Illegal military formation opened fire at traditional areas, in particular near Avdiivka, Gorliivka, Mayorsk, Verkhnetoretsk, Lugansk, and one provocation took place near Novoselivka. The characteristic feature was the decreased number of armed provocations as well as no use of heavy weapons. Only in the night time the militants launched one mortar shell of 82 millimeter caliber mortar near Avdiivka. However, Ukrainian servicemen remain vigilant despite a lull. According to the military reconnaissance information, a sniper unit arrived to Yasenovata in order to strengthen the staff of militants formation. The ATO forces watch over any threatening movements of militants, and they are ready to rebuff any attacks. 10 times the militant formations violated ceasefire in the Donetsk area. In the Mariupol area, the number of armed provocations decreased as well. No shellings were observed near Krasnogorivka, and only one firing accident took place near Marienka. The militants also opened fire of small arms, grenade launchers, and machine guns near Shirokine and Pavlopil. They used small arms near Bogdanivka, Starognativka, and Vodyane. A total of 8 provocations were observed in Mariupol sector. Last day, no Ukrainian servicemen died, and 3 Ukrainian army servicemen were wounded. 2 soldiers got injuries as they tripped a grenade in a booby trap. The 3rd serviceman was injured by small arms. All of them were injured in Avdiivka. According to the main intelligence department of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine, Russia continues to provide staff and ammunition to the ATO area. Yesterday, near Novozovsk, 2 lorries and 1 bus with militants arrived. Besides that, the military intelligence provided information how Russian conduct its propaganda in order to cheat their own military men who are used by the Kremlin for their aggression against Ukraine. Ukrainian intelligence service established the names of military criminals. They are 3 citizens of Russian Federation: Denis Nesterov, Roman Stilkov, and Pavel Tishakov, as well as militants Alexander Morozov, Alexander Chernov, Andrei Sablin, Sergei Netlikin, Maxim Shubin, and Alexander Verovenko. They created a film in order to improve the spirits for newly arrived militants and Russian servicemen. However, the militants of the so-called motor battery of the 2nd Motorized Rifle Battalion Regiment, they also provided negative feedback about this film. The Security Service of Ukraine continued to detain militants. One criminal who joined the military formations in April 2014 was detained. He guarded the hostile checkpoints holding arms in his hands, and he checked documents and examined the cars of civilians. Another resident of Donetsk region used the Security Service of Ukraine program "You Are Waited at Home." He returned to his family in May 2014. Slavansk resident joined one of the illegal military formations of the so-called DPR in order to earn some money. And now you can hear his confession. Now I live a calm life. I do not hide from anyone. I know several other guys like me who returned from the occupied territories. And I appeal to other militants, return to your homes, to your families. Do not commit violence. Return here, return to Ukrainian territory. Yet another militant perceived his mistake and voluntarily surrendered to the police in Konstantinivka. Ukrainian investigators established that at the beginning of summer 2014, this man guarded the checkpoint, but in 1 month, Konstantinivka was liberated by Ukrainian servicemen. According to this man, when he guarded the checkpoint, he immediately disappeared, was disillusioned in the Russian world, but he was afraid of responsibility for his crime. That is why he has been hiding for 2 years, and now he returned home and went to the law enforcement officers. In Konstantinivka, policemen found a cache with ammunition and 1 bus passenger.
Evgeny Lazarenko, DSN 1+1. Tell us, please, one of the terrorists of Zakharchenko said yesterday that today in Minsk they plan to sign the withdrawal of all the forces, and they are ready to this, and the documents were coordinated, and the step is only after Ukraine. So is this a provocation of the militants, or are we really ready to this withdrawal? The matter is, Ukraine adheres to the Minsk agreement. We withdrew heavy weapons to the identified distance. Ukraine adheres to ceasefire, and Ukraine do not intervene. The work of OSCE and observers, and they allow to verify the equipment and the sites they are interested in. As to Zakharchenko and his proxies and their threats, the threats of Zakharchenko, it's like threat of Sirko dog to the moon. So we shouldn't pay attention to this person, because he just follows the orders that come from Moscow. So no, it's not about withdrawal of weapons, it's about the withdrawal of all the troops and the army. So is it just a provocation? Let's look at the results. So, do you have other questions? Please ask. If no, so this is the end of press conference. Thank you.